Hello again, everyone. So today I'm going to answer a question from the comments, but before I do that, I just want to apologize for the hiatus. Took out a moment and went to London, actually. While I was there, I had an opportunity to visit an actual Roland store, actual Roland outlet. Had an opportunity to take a look at all of the boutique synthesizers, everything from the SE to the JDs to the Junos. It was excellent. And one of the reps actually had the opportunity to demonstrate one of the guitar synthesizers. I believe it's the latest Roland guitar synthesizer model, and that was excellent. I haven't played guitar synths in quite some time now, but I'm thinking about going back to it. But enough talking. Let's go to the question. All right, so this one came in about 5 months ago. The question was, is it possible to transpose a sequence on the fly so it follows the key played? The answer to the question is yes, but not the way that you would think. And I'm going to explain that right now. So first things first, I'm going to cue up a sequence. Okay, so that's the sequence that we're going to work with. If I press and hold the sequence button, I get the sequencer menu. Actually, that's not where I want to be. I want to exit the sequencer menu, and I want to go to the menu. All right, so if I scroll over to key, I have a transpose parameter. I'm going to click here, I'm going to play, and I'm going to turn this dial. Okay, now here's the thing, nothing happens, right? The question is, why is that? So I took a look at the instruction manual. As it turns out, that method of transposition only applies when you have the proprietary Roland keyboard linked to the device. Not just any MIDI keyboard. Any MIDI keyboard will not work. You have to use Roland's proprietary boutique keyboard, which is a little inauspicious for me because I want to choose my own MIDI controller, right? So that takes us back to that just kind of takes us back to square one. How do we transpose the sequence? Well, there are a couple of methods whereby which you can do this. Method number one, you can actually let's see, if I go to menu and I go to system and I go to tune, you get a big 440 here. Okay. What you can do is you can tune the JX-08 a semitone higher, a semitone below, etc., etc. The problem with this is that there are ostensible limitations to this. So from 440, I can go up to 466, right? So that's only that's only a semitone's worth of tuning. As a matter of fact, I believe 464.2 would give me a semitone higher. Let me check my work here. Let's see here. So 400. I have a chart here in front of me. 466 point. It's actually 466.2. So what that does is it gives me a semitone higher, and that in and of itself, again, is a little inconvenient because number one, you have to reference a chart, but then also number two, all I'm trying to do is just change the key momentarily. But then also number three, there are limitations to this because I can only transpose a semitone up and a semitone down, approximately, right? So what do we do? Well, the next method is actually quite simple, but you have to have a little bit of music theory knowledge to execute this, right? And it's not hard. The answer lies right here with the tuning knob. So for DCO number one, if I turn this dial, it does do a transpositioning, but the problem is that I would have to tune my VCOs in sync with one another. Now, and another thing that you have to be careful with is that you have to turn these knobs not only do you have to tune them in sync with one another, but you have to kind of listen in, because if you don't, that happens. Now, let's just turn on the keyboard in and of itself and let's put this under a microscope for a moment. So this is my E. A semitone up gives me F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. So basically, I have the capability of transposing sequences by semitones, but I would have to use these knobs specifically to do that. Now, not the most advantageous method of doing it, but it is the only way that I know to do this in the absence of the keyboard. Let's start with a blank sequence and see. Hold on. Let's see here. Let's turn that off. Let's start with a blank sequence and see if we can get something done here. Actually, that's not a blank one. I had something there. Okay, no, I had something there. All right, here we are. All right, so perfect. Okay, now let's turn on the note mode. Okay. Sure, all right. Let's change our patch. Yeah, let's just go to blank patch. All right, and let's see here. Okay, cool, excellent. All right, so yeah, let's just go ahead and go into our sequencer mode. Let's see, let's highlight one of our steps here. Let's see, let's turn note mode off, stop the sequence, highlight our initial step here, step number 1. Hold on, step number 1, note, and there's my D major chord. All right, let's go back, let's exit note mode, let's hold this step down, and let's tie it out. There we go. All right, now, okay, so we went from a D major chord to an E major, F sharp major, keep turning, G major, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. I think we just went to C sharp and then back to D. Yeah. So, and again, you just have to kind of turn your knob in increment in order to transpose. And again, I wish there was an easier way of doing it outside of having to use Roland's proprietary keyboard, but that is the best method that I have come up with so far. And again, you just have to utilize a little bit of music theory knowledge in order to execute that. But at the end of the day, that I believe is the best that we have. So, yeah. Oh, Roland. But anyway, that pretty much does it for transposing by way of semitones. All right, guys, not quite the answer that I was hoping for. I really wish that there was a way that you could just tap a button or turn a dial outside of the manual tuning in order to transpose. Maybe like some type of a like scale parameter, not unlike what you would see with a MIDI controller, where you can take your sequence and lock it into a scale and then transpose from there. But again, these boutique synthesizers are not without their limitations. So if any of you guys have an alternate method, please let me know. Please educate me. I would love to know a little bit more about this, but try some of that's the best I've come up with so far. But if you guys have any questions about anything, just let me know. Leave your question in the comments and I'll be sure to get back with you. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.